What you're about to witness is not just another political debate. It's a moment that stunned millions of viewers across the country. On one side stood Donald Trump, a man known for dominating conversations and overwhelming opponents with sheer force of personality. On the other side was Jasmine Crockett, calm, composed, and completely unshaken under pressure. This wasn't just television. It was a live, high-stakes national broadcast titled America in Crisis, where the biggest issues facing everyday people were supposed to take center stage. But what unfolded that night went far beyond policy and turned into one of the most intense on-air confrontations in recent memory. The moderator opened the discussion by addressing the struggles millions of Americans face every single day: rising costs, a healthcare system many feel is failing them, and a growing sense that justice doesn't apply equally to everyone. When Jasmine Crockett was given the floor, she didn't rush or raise her voice. Instead, she spoke with steady clarity, describing the reality of families working multiple jobs just to survive, seniors unable to afford essential medications, and parents forced to choose between rent and their child's health. Her words carried weight, not because they were loud, but because they felt real. The audience listened in silence, absorbing every sentence as she painted a picture of a system that many believe is broken at its core. But across the table, Donald Trump was visibly restless. He leaned back, smirking, tapping his fingers, waiting for his moment, and when it came, he didn't hold back. Interrupting abruptly, he dismissed her entire argument, claiming she knew nothing about America's problems. Then the tone shifted sharply. What began as political disagreement quickly turned personal. Trump questioned her background in a way that shocked the room, creating a tension so thick it silenced the audience. For a brief moment, it seemed like he believed he had taken control of the debate entirely. But Jasmine Crockett didn't react emotionally. She didn't interrupt or raise her voice. Instead, she paused, letting the weight of the moment settle, before calmly leaning forward and responding with precision. She acknowledged that the line had been crossed and made it clear that if the conversation was going to turn personal, she was prepared to meet it head-on. What followed wasn't loud or chaotic. It was controlled, deliberate, and sharply focused. Rather than attacking blindly, she challenged the consistency between words and actions, shifting the conversation toward accountability and public perception. As the exchange continued, the energy in the room began to change. The audience, initially stunned into silence, started reacting, subtle nods, murmurs, and eventually applause. The balance of control had shifted. Trump, who had entered the moment with visible confidence, now appeared increasingly frustrated, raising his voice and interrupting more frequently. Meanwhile, Crockett maintained composure, allowing the contrast between their approaches to speak louder than any single argument. The more intense his reactions became, the more her calm presence stood out. Eventually, the tension reached a breaking point. Trump slammed his hands on the table, his voice rising in anger as he pushed back against the direction the conversation had taken. The moment escalated quickly, culminating in a dramatic decision. He removed his microphone and walked off the stage in front of a live audience. The studio erupted, with a mix of reactions echoing throughout the room, capturing the raw intensity of what had just happened. In the aftermath, the focus shifted back to Jasmine Crockett. Remaining composed, she addressed viewers directly, emphasizing that the debate was never meant to be about personal attacks, but about real issues affecting real people. She spoke about leadership, not as dominance or volume, but as responsibility, accountability, and the ability to face difficult questions without walking away. Her closing remarks resonated deeply, bringing the conversation back to the everyday struggles that had started it all. By the end of the broadcast, what remained wasn't just the memory of a heated exchange, but a powerful contrast in leadership styles. For millions watching, the moment wasn't defined by who spoke the loudest, but by who stayed grounded when it mattered most. It became more than a debate. It became a reflection of how leaders handle pressure, criticism, and responsibility in real time. If you want more breakdowns of moments like this, where politics, power, and real human reactions collide, make sure to follow the Insight Talk. Because sometimes the most important stories aren't just about what was said, but how people respond when everything is on the line.